Hello, I'm Reverend Maxine BrownDavis, and today I'm going to be talking about the week one fast with PABC. We'll be focusing mostly on week one is going to be about how do we break the yokes that we have in our lives. We'll be focusing on First Kings 19, verses 1 through 19, with our focus verse being verse 4 and 8, and I read. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die and said, "It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers." And verse says 8. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake bacon on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid down again. So I'm going to really focus on the yokes that we have, and I'm going to compare what Elijah was dealing with and what the woman with the issue of blood was dealing with. And you're going to see how those two come together to bring the story to the forefront as to why do we need to get these yokes out of our lives as we go through this first week of fasting. According to the scriptures, Elijah had to relieve himself. He was committed to with a yoke around his neck. And so I was thinking, okay, we need to get a visual of what a yoke is. So a yoke is something around your neck, and then you're connected to something else behind you. And so in my understanding, I'm thinking that Elijah was connected to the community, and in that community was Jezebel. And Jezebel's desire was to kill him. And so much like Elijah, you're the woman with the issue of blood, which is I'm using the story that is found in Mark chapter 5, verses 25 through 29, where she has as a yoke similar to that of Elijah, where now she's attached to her community. And I was like, okay, so does this woman make it through a crowd when she indeed should have been yelling unclean, unclean, with bells on her, but she was still had to push through the crowd. This just tells me that her own community was already desensitized by her. They didn't even realize that there was a yoke around her and that she was yelling, "Let me through, let me through, let me through." And that same for us too today, where we have the yoke around us in our community, and we are desensitized by it because we don't even realize that we are dying with a yoke around us and that we need to press our way to Jesus. You have to make your way to Jesus. And so Elijah and this woman with the issue of blood realized, and Elijah is like, I'm done. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die. I'd rather die. I've done all I'm supposed to do. I've taken my prophets. I've left them in Beersheba. And now I am ready to meet my fathers. The woman with the issue of blood says, "Hey, I've used everything that I got. I've used everything. I've done everything that the doctors have told me. I've done everything that the soothsayers have told me. And now I have to press my way to the king." This is about us today as we continue to press our way. How do we get there? We get there through this fast, and we must recognize what our yoke is. And you must earnestly already make up in your mind, "God, I'm at my wit's end. God, I can't do this without you." You must be at that point. That is what's needed to get this yoke broken. You must realize, I cannot just do this by myself. I can never depend on my community because my community have gotten used to me yelling. My community have gotten used to me crying. I can't go to my mother anymore, or my father, my sister, my brother, my pastor, because they've heard it all. Now it's my time for me to come and press to get to the king for myself. And when I do, I know you got to make up in your mind that you know that when you get to him, that yoke will be broken. You must earnestly seek him. You must earnestly come to him. Earnestly. And just like Elijah, and just like the woman of the issue of blood, that God will give you what you need. You may need to be healed, or you may just need food. Whatever it is, that God is able to give you exactly what you need for when that yoke is broken. What do you need today? What do you need today? You would need for the Holy Spirit to come in and to do his perfect will in your life. For the Holy Spirit to control every area and aspect of your life. But first, you must come and seek God for yourself. Seek him this week. And this first week of the fast, as you go through this fast, this first week, seek him and know that he will break the yoke of the community, the plague that's so easily, that's with you. Remember, the woman with the issue of blood had that plague for 12 years. She wasn't born with it. It's something that you got along the way. And as you walk through this week, trust God and know that he is willing to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask. And the Holy Spirit will break that yoke. Trust God